Hello, today is an Airsoft video. As you can see, this thing's very different than you're used to. The sight is gone, replaced with a backwards M4 carry handle. Why? Because its sight is currently in use. But why the carry handle? Did you see that hole on the peep sight? That is better than no sight. You can at least get a sight profile with it and get a gist of where to fire. That doesn't make it good. My Cyma 121 is now fully operational. My flashlight's too far forward. It is now operational. I have fixed it. It is now beautiful, and it is a very aggressive little gun. It's 250, 260 feet per second at 11 rounds per second. So, it is a fast little bugger. It's a mean little bugger. Now, of course, I did have to do a gearbox rebuild. I was lucky enough to be able to find a set of gears for it on one of my forums. Ordered them out. Oh, she's breaking my barrel. I was lucky enough to find a part to find the exact part I needed to fix it. I ordered a battery for it, and she was good to go. So this is now my sidearm, the Cyma 121 AED, automatic electric pistol. Holster situation is code black. It is very much dead. So a holster is going to be in my shopping list in the future. But one second. This thing's about dead. But now the main event of this video. This is the ICS Car 97 M4, licensed by Olympic Arms. Full metal construction other than this POS. Other than this POS and the stock itself, this is metal. This is not. So other than this really sucky plastic foregrip and the stock itself, it's full metal. Full metal internals. I stripped them apart because I'm getting it for the cheap. Because one of my dad's co-workers thought this was an Olympic, shooting range weapon because he saw Olympic Arms. Well, he doesn't know the value of it, and he's only selling it for $60. So, yes, I'm pouncing on it like a madman. Comes with a 450 round metal, full metal high cap. It is compatible with all the other mags I've got, which are all basic M4 high caps, with the exception of one mid cap, because I have one mid cap for some reason. But top rail, top accessory rail, whatever you want to call it, is good. I have my really shitty RDS on it. You can see the very sucky little red light on it. All I do is just line up the dot with the center post of the iron. And once I've got a little bit more change, I'm going to buy a conversion kit. And the conversion kit I'm getting is a free float quad rail. Comes with a whole outer barrel assembly. Comes with everything I need. It's about the same length. And that's going to replace this. It's going to have completely different iron sights. It's going to have different grip setups. it's going to be good. It is front wired, which either way, I'm changing the foregrip, because this is like this to be a battery carrier. The battery sits in there. Now I'm just going to live with having a fake tech box to hold my batteries. I can live with it. Because ultimate goal for this is probably going to be my Milsim rifle. Because the few sites I found that sell this, it's a $230+ rifle. The most expensive I've found it was $360. The cheapest I found it was $240. Both were on sale. So I have a full metal gearbox, split gearbox, so breaking it down and inspecting it is super easy. Just pop out this pin here, crack it down like an M4, and I will show you that right now. I'm going to use my Leatherman to punch out the pin. You just line it up, give it a good little whack, flip it over, grab, eject the magazine, of course. Grab your pin with the pliers and pop it out. Then once your pin has been popped out, and I suspect it's going to pop, all you do is break it open. You can get to your gearbox there, and your cylinder, piston, all of that is free floating in here and is that simple to remove. You just pull it all the way out. I'm not going to because I don't feel like putting it back in. Your hop up and barrel system are free float as well. They sit here held in place by this. So when you pull this out, you can pull out your entire hop up assembly and your inner barrel. The grip, the butt plate of it, the stock, the butt plate is angled inward, and it sits very nicely against body armor. It's very comfortable to shoulder, it's very nice to hold, and it has a nice solid weight. I believe it comes in fully loaded at about 7 pounds almost. Don't quote me. Never quote me. Unless, you know, it's something badass, then yes, quote the fuck out of me. Immortalize my sayings. Come on. I have problems with getting the pin back in just because that's me. Because I never align it right. I try to, like, the hole is here. I always try to shove it in and it's kind of like that. That doesn't work. Then you can push the pin back in by hand. I choose not to. I choose to use my tool. Because it is simpler, easier, and does less harm to my hands. And just like that, you don't have to worry about it popping apart because you have a big, thick pin. And to get to the hop-up is the exact same as every other rifle. Now this is weak, so you bump the rifle and it'll pop down. Metal dust cover plate, of course. But the charging pin is so satisfying. It has weight and oomph to it. You hear it ram home. You hear it come back, then it rams home. You have a radial style pop-up. You rotate the whole thing, it locks every click, so it's in there solid and you don't ever have to worry about it. My sight is too far forward. Now, I will be getting a better sight eventually. Academy has some nice looking little Airsoft RDS that appear to be a much better assembly. The stock, I'm fine with the stock. I will, however, not be getting a new buffer tube, but I will be getting a new one of these eventually for a more, it's got padding, it has a cheek riser, it's fully adjustable. And it looks nice, and I like it. But for right now, the life that this is going to have is CQB skirmish gun. This is now my primary. That is my backup. And the shotgun is now my last resort. This has a backup for when this fails. And it's a cheap little Springer. Very aggressive little Springer. I think it's close to 300, 400, 3 to 350 FPS. At least that's what the box said. Christmas 3 years ago said. The box I got, or the box it came in, Christmas 3 years ago. That's what it said. But very nice, very solid rifle, very heavy. It wouldn't fire when I got it. It would fire once or twice, then it wouldn't. Nothing would cycle, nothing worked, da-da-da-da-da. And I pulled this thing apart, took out the gearbox, and I'm looking at the connectors. And I noticed that the leads are bent out. And only if you pulled the trigger a certain way would they even touch the connection and make a connection. Otherwise, they would just arc to it and build up carbon. So, got 1500 grit sandpaper, pulled the trigger, pinched it, and of course without a battery, pulled the sandpaper through on both sides on each piece. Then I got a pair of needle nose pliers. I compressed them together so that way when it made the connection, it would be connected. And now I have had no firing issues with it. Whew. That's a mouthful. But, plans. This rifle has a few plans through its life. I'm happy with the gearbox now. It's very solid. I'll probably wind up getting a piston and shit upgrade because that is all plastic. Your piston is plastic, so I'm going to be upgrading that to probably an aluminum one. Just something that'll give it a bit more weight and some harder hits, a more restrictive air nozzle, a precision barrel, and then of course my quad rail, my sights, and my new butt plate, or my new butt stock. Ooh. And that is the extent of the plan for this rifle for now. Now, you know, later in life, you know, I decide, oh man, I want to try to HPA out a gun. Well, I'll either HPA this guy, or I'll get myself a Boneyard M4 to HPA. And that is pretty much it for this video. This video brought to you by Squizzard Vape. That's not a real... This helmet's heavy, by the way. My neck hurts now. Squizzard is one of my alter egos, if you will. Squid head. Addison calls it a squidge. Squizzard bear. And even got a funky little squizzard stick too. Luckily, it's Squizzard Vape. If I ever opened a vape shop, that would be its name, Squizzard Vapes. And I just sit inside of this. I'd have moments where I just kind of walk around the shop and be weird and just dance around with the stick and this fucking Squizzard hat on with some kind of weird, some really weird music playing. But alas, for now, that is not going to happen. However, I may, keyword may, be getting a job at Outlaw Vapors. They put out a hiring ad, and I'd imagine I was among one of the first people to respond to it. And I am hoping to get an email back with an application so I can so I can apply and hopefully get the job, because everyone at Outlaws knows me. They know that I know stuff. They know I know what I'm talking about. They know I know what to do. And yeah, friendly guy. I can only hope that I get hired at Outlaws, because that would be fun. But that's about it for this here video. I'm gonna take off this hot ass plate carrier now.